Europe Treaty AFV reduction requirements. These tanks were upgraded to Leopard 105DK, along with first 120 Leopards. Being fitted with the welded turret of the Leopard 103, the Danish Leopard 105DK tanks were noted identical to the German Leopard 105, which were fitted with the cast turrets. Denmark had 230 Leopard 105DKs in service from 1993, until their retirement and complete replacement by the Leopard 205DK tanks in 2005. These Leopards were involved in one of the most important engagements in modern Danish military history, which became known as Operation Blebank. Denmark was the only Scandinavian country to send a significant tank force to support the peacekeeping operations in Croatia and Bosnia. On 29 April 1994 near the city of Tuzla, 7 Danish Leopard 105 tanks were involved in a skirmish between UNPROFOR's Nordic Battalion, Nordbat II, and Bosnian Serb military forces from the Ikoyi Brigade. The tanks were sent out to relieve a Swedish manned observation post that had come under ambush fire by the Bosnian Serb forces. Upon the tanks' arrival at the observation post, they were shelled by mortar fire and anti-tank rockets, which led the UN-marked and white-painted Leopard 105 tanks to return fire. No casualties were suffered by Swedish observation post nor the Danish tank. Serbian casualties were estimated as high as 150 soldiers. This is believed to be the first hostile engagement involving the Leopard 1 tank. 36. The Danish army had /has the following variants: 120 Leopard 103, 1976 to 1993, all upgraded into 105. 230 Leopard 105, 1993 to 2005, 120, from 1976, plus 110 newer 5. 16 Berger ARV, 1993 to 2011, all upgraded into FFG Weisants, 10 ARV plus 6 AEV. 10 FFG Weisant ARV, 2011 present. 4 FFG Weisant AEV Mine Clearing Vehicle, 2011 present. 2 FFG Weisant AEV, 2011 present. 10 Bibber AVLB, 1994-2023. 6 Driving School Cabin, 1976. Denmark sold 100 of its last Leopard 105DK tanks to FFG in Flensburg, Germany in 2010. 37. In February 2023, Germany approved 178 Leopard 1 main battle tanks for export to Ukraine, and Denmark announced it would jointly purchase around 100 Leopard 105 main battle tanks with Germany and the Netherlands for Ukraine. 90 of the Danish Leopard tanks at FFG are expected to be part of this transfer. 38. Greece. An ex-Greek Leopard 1V at Military Museum Lenigri bought its first 104 Leopard 103 GR tanks during 1983-1984. They are actually Leopard 103s, but came with an EMS-12 FCS and some other modifications required by the Greek army at that time. During 1992, the Greek army received a batch of 75 Leopard 105 as offsets for the construction of 4 Mako 200 frigates. Some months later, Greece received another batch of 170 Leopard 1V and 2 Leopard 105 from the Royal Netherlands Army. The Leopard 1V is actually an 104 with an EMS-12 3 AFSL2 FCS. From 1998 until 2000. Greece bought 192 used Leopard 105s as offsets for the upgrade of the Greek F-4 aircraft in Germany in a symbolic price. In 2001, the Greek army decided to upgrade 104 Leopard 104 GR and 120 Leopard 1V to the A5 Plus version, costing $234 million. The program was cancelled because Greece received a batch of 150 Leopard 105s along with the newly built Leopard 2A6 Hell. As of 2011, Greece is the largest user of Leopard 1 tanks, having over 500 Leopard 105 GRMBs as well as many ST, Bibber and Ligon versions. Greece is negotiating with Germany to supply nearly 100 of their Leopard 105s to Ukraine in exchange for thus being backfilled on a one-to-one basis with Italian Leopard 105 tanks purchased from Swiss company RUAG and refurbished and upgraded by Rheinmetall. 3940, Italy. An Italian Leopard 105 in 2008. Italy had to replace an enormous number of M47 patterns, with over 2,000 received from US stocks, but unlike other NATO members did not instigate a national project to achieve this. Its army, not entirely satisfied by the M60 pattern, 300 delivered, of those 200 were produced by Otto Mellera, placed its first order for the Leopard 1 in 1970. 200 Leopard 101 and 69 Bergepanzer II were delivered between 1971 and 1972. The vehicles replaced the M47 in the Italian Army's Cavalry Brigade Pozzuolo del Friuli. A further 600 Leopard 102 and 67 Bergepanzer II were built in Italy by Otto Mellera with deliveries starting in 1975, with a second batch of 120 built by Otto Mellera between 1980 and 1983. All-Italian built Leopards were a 2S, but without stabilizers and skirts. The 201s originally bought from Germany were partially upgraded lately at this standard. 40 Pioneer Leopard, AEV, 9 school, 4 drivers, without armament, and 64 Bibber, AVLB, were ordered in 1985. 12 of the Pioneer Leopard were reproduced in Germany and 28 by Otto Mellera in Italy. All of the Bibber were assembled by Otto Mellera in Italy. By the end, Italy was the biggest customer of the Leopard outside Germany with 920 plus 250 special versions, the only one with a license production, and the only country that produced both the M60 and Leopard 1. The Leopard was the basis for Italian MBTs and heavy artillery systems, starting with Leone /Lion and the following of 40, leading to other developments like the Palmaria and OTOM-ATI artillery systems, both on and of 40 hull. 41. The experience made possible the development of the C-1 Air Riot, after the Italian Army decided in 1984 to have a new national tank, rather than buying 300 Leopard 2S. 42. At the end of the Cold War, the Italian Army began an upgrade and a downsizing of its armored units. A number of Leopards were retired in 1991, along with its fleet of M60 tanks. In 1995, Italy bought 120 surplus of 5 turrets from the Bundeswehr, which were mounted on the same number of reworked A2 hulls. These tanks took part in the various peacekeeping missions in the Balkans, never seeing action. The last A1 /A2 was retired in 2003, with the last A5 going in 2008, leaving the Air Riot as the sole tank in Italian service. The AEVs, ARVs and AVLBs have been reduced in number and some have been modified to work with the Air Riot. They are stated to serve for some more years, as no replacement has been selected yet. A deal to sell nearly 100 Leopard 105 tanks stored in Lenta to a South American country fell through in 2022. 43, Netherlands. The Dutch upgraded their Leopard 101s acquired between 1969-1972 to the Leopard 1V standard Seenheren. The vehicle received space-seat turret armor and a new fire control system. A Dutch-built gunfire simulation device is mounted on the mantlet. To the right of the gun barrel. The Royal Netherlands Army ordered a total 468 Leopard 1 tanks from the 4th production series. Built between October 1969 and March 1972, as a partial replacement for the Centurion tank. The initial order for 415 vehicles was placed on the 27th of December 1968. Butte was soon expanded to include another 53 tanks and 30 armored recovery vehicles, subsequently increased to 51, following the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia. Dutch tanks were built with participation from local industry, including components supplied by companies such as DAF. They were equipped with US radio sets using US-style antenna bases and a Dutch-designed smoke discharger system consisting of 6 launchers grouped into 3 pairs on either side of the turret. There were additional stowage boxes provided on the fenders around the hull, and the FNM-8 was used as secondary armament instead of the MG3. At a later date, Dutch tanks were upgraded with a gun stabilization system from Honeywell and new optics for use with British-designed ADAPTS ammunition. In 1987, all remaining Dutch Leopard 1S were upgraded to the Leopard 1V, verbeted or improved, standard, which involved the provision of the EMS-12A3 AFSL-2 fire control system built to Dutch specifications by Honeywell and Zeiss, as well as the Space Turret Armor add-on package by Blom and Voss. 44. The program was plagued by technical challenges. With the new fire control system, which rendered a significant number of upgraded tanks inoperable for a period of time, and cost overruns. By early 1995, the Leopard 1V was phased out of Dutch service without a replacement, with most vehicles. A Chilean Army Leopard 1V either donated to Greece or sold to Chile. Approximately 50 tanks were retained for various purposes, including to be used as monuments, museum pieces, targets for live weapons practice, driver training vehicles and other niche applications. Turkey. The Turkish army upgraded its Leopard 1 tanks to a version called Leopard 1T Vulcan. The modernization program included serial production and integration of the Vulcan fire control system developed by Aselsan. 45. The new indigenous system provides the capability of detecting their targets in daylight or at night in all weather conditions and combat environments. It significantly increases first-round hit probability on the move and also improved the usage life over 20 years. 46. 47. Turkey's other batch of Leo 1A3S are dubbed as Leo 1A3T1 and are actually 1A3A3S with EMS-12A3 fire control system. 48. Ukraine. Procurement challenges. Rheinmetall first sought an export permit for 88 of its Leopard 1A5 to Ukraine in April 2022, along with 100 Marder IFVs. 49. However, this was initially blocked by the Scholz government, allegedly over concerns that the tanks could not easily be made battle-ready. 50. However, a government source later said Chancellor E was blocking Leopard tank transfers because it would constitute a departure from an informal NATO decision not to provide Western tanks at that time. 51. Following the 20. January 2023 meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, a decision was reached to provide Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. The Scholz government subsequently lifted its ban on export of Leopard tanks to Ukraine. On the 7th of February 2023, the German federal government approved the export of 178 Leopard 1A5 main battle tanks to Ukraine, which included 88 Leopard 1A5 from Rheinmetall stocks and 90 Leopard 1A5 DK from FFG stocks. 52. 53. Germany, Denmark and the Netherlands subsequently issued a statement that the three countries would jointly finance the purchase of at least 100 Leopard 1A5 tanks. In May, Denmark's acting defense minister Troels Lund Poulsen clarified in an interview that the joint venture included 80 Leopard 1A5 DK from FFG co-financed by Denmark and Germany. 54. 55. Germany committed an additional 30 Leopard 1A5 tanks for Ukraine on the 13th of May, 2023 as part of a new $2.95 billion military aid package. 56. Canada agreed to supply 1,800 rounds of 105mm training ammunition for the Leopard 1 tanks going to Ukraine. 57. Denmark's defense minister stated on the 11th of March 2023 that the first batch of Leopard 1 tanks should be delivered to Ukraine by the spring. 58. However, Germany's defense minister Boris Pistorius told his Ukrainian counterpart Alexei Reznikov that 20 to 25 tanks would be delivered by the summer, around 80th end of 2023, and an additional 100 in 2024. 59. 60. The first 10 were delivered to Ukraine by 18 July 2023. 61. An additional 10 were delivered by the 29th of August, aligning with the delivery schedule given by Pistorius. However, the second batch of 10 Leopard 1A5 tanks to be delivered from Germany was refused by Ukraine due to the vehicle's poor condition and the lack of available spare parts and engineers to repair vehicles in Ukraine. German experts traveled to Poland and confirmed the tanks required repairs due to extensive training the vehicles performed in the preceding weeks. Germany agreed to cooperate on tank repairs before their delivery. 62. Belgium was negotiating with OIP Land Systems over the purchase of an additional 50 Leopard 1A5B tanks sold to the company in 2014. But could not come to an agreement on price. 63. On the 11th of July, Germany pledged a new €700 million aid package which included additional Leopard 1 tanks for Ukraine on top of those previously pledged. Rheinmetall subsequently purchased all 50 Leopard 1A5B from OIP Land Systems to fulfill this obligation. 64. 65. 30 of these 50 tanks are to be refurbished for active service and 20 used for spare parts. 20. On the 14th of November, Rheinmetall issued an update that only 25 were to be used for main battle tanks, 5 would be converted to Bergepanzer II armored recovery vehicles, and 2 used for driver training vehicles. 66. Denmark pledged an additional 30 Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine on the 19th of September, 2023, as part of a larger $830 million aid package. The source of these tanks was not disclosed, with the Danish defense minister stating they would be purchased from other countries that had these tanks available. 67. This brought the total number of Leopard 1A5 publicly pledged to Ukraine to 195 tanks. 68. Both the Dutch government and Rheinmetall have sought to purchase an additional 96 used and non-operational Leopard 1A5 IT tanks from the Swiss private defense company RUAG. 69. 70. Acquiring these tanks for Ukraine has been complicated by a series of controversies, including the Swiss government's refusal to sell the tanks to third countries due to neutrality concerns. 71. And the discovery that 25 of these 96 were already purchased by Bavarian firm Global Logistics Support GmbH, GLS, back in 2019. 72. Germany considered negotiating with Greece the transfer of nearly 100 of their Leopard 1A5 tanks in exchange for Rheinmetall backfilling them on a one-to-one basis with the remaining Leopard 1S available from RUAG. 40. However, the matter was further complicated when Italian NGO Opel discovered that Agenzia Italiana Difesa, AID, which sold the tanks to RUAG in 2016, did not have the necessary export permits to conclude the sale to RUAG in the first place, and no approval was provided by the licensing authority WAMA. 73. As such, the legal ownership of the tanks is unclear. The Swiss Federal Audit Office, the German Public Prosecutor's Office, and the Italian government are investigating the matter to clarify the tank's legal status, which could enable their eventual delivery to Ukraine. 74. Active combat. Beginning in summer 2023, Ukrainian Wyzant-1 mine-clearing vehicles and Berjepanzer-2 armored recovery vehicles were used in the 2023 Ukrainian